name is Chelsea Calvert, and I'm here with Miss Susan at the Marietta Johnson School of Organic Education. Miss Susan, how do you implement project-based learning within the classroom since you've been limited to access to technology tools?
We do several different things. We do word games that we write on the dry erase board, and the kids come up and fill in and erase. We also have a big piece of paper that hangs on the wall, and whatever we study that day, we write on the paper so that we can go back and recap and see how much they retain of
So
the
after like a
information.
grading period, you go back and ask them and point out different things they've written on there to state
Right.
what they've learned.
I think their retention is probably around 85%. I think, and I encourage them to use as many of their senses as they can, to actually write, to see it, to hear it, and I feel like that it makes a more lasting impression.
Now, if they don't remember, I know y'all do have a MacBook on site, so do y'all pull that out and they research what it is to go back and retain information?
I mean, sometimes even I forget a few details and stuff, and we'll look it back up. And it's funny that you say that about not having any technology, because our new director has just ordered us tablets to have in the classroom so that we can easily access information. And also, we have child-driven learning. So when the kids have questions and they come into school that day and they want to know something, we don't strictly adhere to a set curriculum. We do what they want to do to help them to encourage the love of learning.
Now, since you are getting a tablet, how are you going to ensure that each student has enough time to research or do whatever y'all are studying? Or is it going to be like a center where you have them 2 by 2 go?
I think we'll probably set up a center so that they can station and that they can go there, and I think we'll try to work independently. We have very small classrooms, so I think that we should be okay. She's gotten us some games that we've downloaded on their math and word games that they can do at certain times. And then another thing that I'm interested in trying with the tablet is we have some children that hate to sit down and write, on paper.
They'd rather do it on a computer.
Yeah, I'm hoping that it'll sort of encourage them to produce more if they can do it on a computer or the tablet.
What are some of the project-based learning projects that you've assigned them?
I just assigned them a book report where I asked them to read a book report on their reading level.
So they select the book.
Right, they're able to choose whatever they want, and then what I asked them to do was to take what they've read and to condense it down into the most condensed version to make something the equivalent of a children's book. And so what would happen is, in the first chapter, say the family went on vacation to Disney World, and then I asked them to just simply write that, and then to either cut a picture out of a magazine or to illustrate themselves.
So they have to pick out the main points of the book to get the main point across, and don't have to add all the details and the little.
Right. And I asked them to act like I were a child on first grade reading level, and that when I get their little booklet, I flip through, and their entire book is in a very condensed version with some visual.
Now, are they going to have to share this at home with their parents or back to you and the rest of the class?
I asked them to work on it over the Christmas holidays, and I'm sure their parents will see it there. And then when they come back, I'd like for all the kids to share and exchange and see how the other ones did it too. Because we have some kids that are a little bit artistic, and I'm sure they're going to want to draw their pictures instead of cut them out.
I know in the mornings, like, y'all get together with the whole school because it is such a small school. Could y'all give the little children, the 4 and 5-year-olds, those books and see how
they did with them? That's a good idea. I didn't think about that.
To see, not just to share it to y'all, but also to the kids, so that they can see what kind of reactions of.
That's a good idea. I'm glad you suggested it. And then another thing too is, in the mornings we always get together and do current events and read the newspaper. and just see what's going on in the world. Even our young kids, know what's going on everywhere in Syria and all across the country.
Okay. Well, thank you for sharing, Miss Susan.
No, it's glad to have you.